Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 kids who saved the day. We usually think of kids as people who are vulnerable and not able to do much, and stories of kids being saved appear to be in the news every day, but these are kids who are true heroes and will blow your mind with their bravery. Before we get into it, please do click the link in the top right corner to check out my new channel, The Crafty. Coming in at number 10, we have the Wright siblings. This is not only one kid who saved the day, but a brother and sister. One day in the tiny town of Sprague, Washington, three siblings, Owen, Delicia, and Brendan Wright, were playing in the park, when all of a sudden a man who looked to be in his 30s with a mustache and glasses approached them. He said he wanted to be their friend, but then grabbed Owen, who was only 1.5 years old. Delicia and Brendan are only 8 and 10, but this didn't stop them from wanting to do something about their baby brother being taken. They chased the man down the street and it was captured in very dramatic surveillance footage. Delicia sprinted after him and Brendan followed with the baby stroller. Luckily, two teenagers named Andrew and Isaac spotted the kids and joined in with the chase. They finally caught the man, only to realize it was someone the teenagers actually knew. What looked like a 30-year-old man was in fact a 15-year-old boy wearing a fake mustache and fake glasses. He was arrested and Owen was reunited with his siblings and his parents. And the two teens were shocked to find out that the criminal they were chasing was somebody in their class. Next up is Jeremy Wojcik. This is yet another heroic kid caught on camera. Being in the car with a bad driver can be scary enough. But what about being in a school bus where the driver has passed out? One day in Milton, Washington, Jeremy, who was only 13, was on a school bus with 15 other kids. Suddenly, the bus driver's eyes looked funny and he was sitting back. Everyone else panicked, but remarkably, Jeremy stayed calm and used his instinct. Without knowing how to drive, he steered the bus up onto the curb as to not get in the way of traffic. He then moved the bus driver and turned off the engine. But it doesn't end there, he even performed CPR on the driver, who turned out to be okay. His mother said she's always proud of him, but that day she was extra proud. And even the town's police chief said that Jeremy is a true hero, and the police department plans to reward him for his quick thinking. Next up is Haven Hatfield. What makes a best friend? Do they talk with you a lot? Do they share things with you? Maybe, but not many best friends have saved their friend's life. One day at a middle school in Tuscola, Illinois, 12-year-old Haven Hatfield had just learned about the Heimlich maneuver in science class. However, he wasn't expecting that a week later he'd have to use it. In the cafeteria a week later, Haven and his best friend James Parsley were eating lunch together when Haven noticed something was wrong. He realized James was choking on his food and couldn't breathe. Without even thinking, Haven leapt up and performed the Heimlich maneuver on James, saving his life. Who says they don't teach you practical stuff in school? James later admitted he thought it was his final day on Earth, but thanks to Haven, it wasn't. James had been choking on a pancake he was eating, but heroically, Haven and his Heimlich knowledge saved the day. Thanks, Dr. Heimlich, we owe you one. Next up is Riley Braden. Like many kids, 5-year-old Riley Braden loves to swim. One day in Florida, she was swimming at Summer Place Inn pool. It was all normal until she spotted something at the bottom of the pool. It turned out to be an 18-month-old girl sinking to the bottom of the pool. No parents or lifeguard had noticed this, but Riley knew she didn't have time to tell an adult to help. So despite only being 5 years old, she dived into the pool and dragged the baby out. She'd been taking swimming lessons for 3 years, which is how she learned to swim so well, but nothing prepared her for the bravery and courage she'd need to save a life at the risk of her own. Her swim coach said she was a strong swimmer, but says she's never seen a child save another child from drowning. And in case you were wondering, thanks to Riley's quick response, the baby was totally unharmed and reunited with her parents. Those parents really should pay more attention. There's not a Riley at every pool. Next up is Emily Gregorio. In 2016, a baseball game between the LA Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks went viral. But it wasn't for an amazing home run. Instead, it was for a kid saving the day. One player hit a ball, but it went stray and headed straight for the stands. More specifically, a man in the stands who was on his phone not paying any attention. The ball was inches away from the man's face when the unexpected happened. One ball girl on the sidelines named Emily Gregorio noticed this and reached out her glove. She then made an amazing catch, saving the man and his beer. The entire crowd went wild for the great catch and for the fact that she saved a man from getting his face smashed in. She handed the man the ball and said, "I got you." The man was very grateful, and it's safe to say he won't be distracted by his phone next time a ball is being pitched. Emily is now working for HBO, so instead of saving people from balls, she's now saving TV shows. Coming up next is Joseph Levi. Every mom's worst fear is their baby getting hurt in some way. Well, if it wasn't for one hero son, this would have happened to one mom, and it was all caught on camera. In 2016, a Florida mom turned away from her 11-month-old baby for a second. As she was turned around, the baby fell from the counter. But amazingly, the baby's 9-year-old brother Joseph saved the day by catching him just at the right moment. The 4-foot drop would have really injured the baby, but Joseph was there to help. He caught the 30-pound baby despite him saying he's not a fast runner and can't even lift 20 pounds, let alone 30. Him and his mother Tila said this is a miracle, and that's why they shared the video. She hopes it could change someone's life and make parents more aware that they should be paying attention to their babies 24/7. Tila calls Joseph a hero, and he says he was motivated by something to push through and save his baby brother. One thing's for sure, this is one hero kid who saved the day. Next up is Leah Vega. Most toddlers don't even know what cell phones are, let alone how to use one. But one 2-year-old from Texas named Leah used a cell phone to save her mom's life. She noticed something was wrong with her mom Larissa as she was laying on the floor making odd noises. Her mom was actually having a seizure, but of course Leah didn't understand this. However, she knew something wasn't right, so simply from seeing her mom do it, she repeated the actions of unlocking her cell phone. She then called 911 but was so young she could barely speak. Instead, she held the phone up to her mom, and the 911 operator heard her mom making odd noises. An ambulance soon arrived and her mom was fine. But as she was home alone with Leah, if Leah wasn't such a child genius and hero, Larissa may not have been okay. Not only is it amazing that a toddler saved a life, she even knew how to use a telephone without ever using one before. Next up is Christopher Wheeler. In 2016, 70-year-old Alfred Smith was driving a truck while 10-year-old Christopher Wheeler tagged along. They were driving to the scrapyard when suddenly, as the truck was fast in motion, Alfred blacked out. Christopher didn't want them to both be in danger, so he grabbed the wheel. He then continued down the highway until 2 police spotted the kid driving. They then managed to pull the truck over by driving in front of it and nudging it onto the side of the road. It turned out Alfred had had a diabetic blackout, but was fine in the end. The policeman said that Christopher didn't just save him and Alfred's life, but many more people who were on the roads as well. He says he's never seen anything like it and calls Christopher a hero. I have to say, I agree, as Chris didn't just take over the steering of a car, but a truck. Either that kid has been playing way too much GTA, or he's the next best NASCAR driver. Next up is Victor Flores. There aren't many things scarier than drowning. One thing many people do when drowning is subconsciously grab onto anything to keep afloat, including people. That's why lifeguards have to do so much training, not just to save people, but to make sure they don't get pulled under themselves while saving them. But Victor Flores had no lifeguard training when his 12-year-old pal Aiden decided to walk in a frozen pond. Victor told him the ice was too thin, but Aiden didn't listen and the ice broke, causing Aiden to fall into the icy water below. Victor heroically ran over, but then slipped into the water, where Aiden almost pushed him under while not trying to go under himself. However, Victor remained calm, swam away from Aiden, left the pond, and then grabbed a pole. He then safely used this pole to pull Aiden out of the water. Without Victor's quick thinking and calmness, Aiden might not be alive today. How many 9-year-olds can stay calm when they have a chance of drowning? I bet not many. Next up is Michael Barron. We've seen people save their friends and siblings on this list, but Michael Barron, a 12-year-old from Australia, saved his own father. They were driving in the Australian outback when suddenly his dad Justin's truck flipped over. Justin was stuck inside, but there were no hospitals or doctors for hundreds of miles in the desert and no cell phone reception. However, Michael was sleeping in the back of the truck and was unscathed by the flip. Michael used the truck's spare battery despite him having no experience of electronics and hotwired the truck's radio. He then connected that to the battery, which turned on the engine. This got the radio working, and after 1 hour of trying, he was able to connect to a frequency with another trucker on it and got them to send an ambulance. One came within a few hours and both Justin and Michael were a-okay. But had it not been for Michael's amazing intuition and bravery, the two could have been vulture food out in the Australian desert. His dad says that he really is a true hero and completely saved his life. In fact, that area of the Australian outback they were in is very dangerous for a number of reasons. There are wild kangaroo and boar out there which have been known to harm humans. So thanks to his intuition and the amazing invention of the truck radio, this dad was okay. This is one kid who'll go down in the history books. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the most heroic kid. And guys, be sure to check out my brand new channel, The Crafty. There's some amazing videos, so definitely head over there and subscribe. There's new videos on the channel every week, and I think you guys are gonna love it. From DIYs to crafts and amazing life hacks, it's got it all. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.